Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Dragon Difference podcast, the Lake Orion Community Schools podcast with Superintendent Heidi Mercer. Today, Heidi has her guest. I'm Mark Snyder, the Director of Communications, and today Heidi's guests are Erik Meerschaert, the Lake Orion High School Teacher of the Year, and Brayden Kopitzki, student at Lake Orion High School. And we're here to talk about unified sports and all the different things that go on in Mr. Meerschaert's classrooms and kind of his background and everything like that. So, um, Heidi, if you want to kind of take it away and talk about to Mr. Meerschaert about all of his opportunities and kind of what he's brought to the high school.
Yes, I wanted to take this opportunity to have you on the podcast because you have been in the district for several years and have really grown the program of unified sports. And so I wanted our community to know that we have unified sports and all of that, what that entails and how you started it and where we are today. So thank you for joining me today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's one where our goal in the Unified Sports Program is to really provide a lot of opportunities for our students that they may not get otherwise, but so many of their general education peers have and experience each and every day and every year that they're at the high school. I know when I was going through high school, those sporting events and those sports teams is what I remember most. And being able to provide those opportunities for our students up at the high school has been an incredible experience. I was approached my first year in Lake Orion about starting back up the unified basketball team. This would have been about 6 years ago now. And I jumped at the opportunity. Our first team had a total of 8 players on it for that very first year, kind of rolling things out. And as of this season, our team is now up to 35 total players. So it has grown quite a bit here. And our unified robotics team started with a grand total of 5 as well. And as of this last year, we are up to 15. And this is only the third year of the robotics team up there.
And how did you guys finish at the robotics championships for the state?
We ended up winning this past season, which was great. Our kids put in a lot of work. Every week you meet for Unified Robotics, and you are building these robots out of Legos, and then you are programming them to a set of code. All of it far higher than what I know how to do, but Team 302 up the high school has a ton of great peer mentors that kind of help out with the team, and they're able to accomplish so much there.
So, Brayden, when did you first hear about unified sports, and was it when you got to high school? Before that, what was kind of your?
So I heard about it after my freshman year. I played regular basketball with the freshman team, and then my mom introduced me to Unified and told me it was a good opportunity to stay involved with basketball and stay involved with something in the winter. And so then I texted Mr. Meerschaert and found out information, and then since then I've been doing it now for 2 years.
So I know you guys have practices and stuff. What was your interaction with his students before that? I mean, in the building or anything?
So I didn't get to meet a lot of them previously to Unified, but obviously I've gotten to meet a ton of them now. I come down to his classroom sometimes, help them, and it's been a good experience, yeah.
There's a bond that is created, right, between you and the other peers who you have and those students. I mean, they see you in the halls, and
Oh yeah, I mean, once you get to know them, they find a connection towards you, and it's great.
How is that integration, Mr. Meerschaert, as you kind of put those things together? You know, everyone's got kind of their own way of interacting, and students some have more confidence than others. What's that been like?
It's been great watching a lot of our students open up. You can even see it from our first practice, our first game, to where we are now as we near the end of a season, how much they grow and how much that relationship builds between them and all of our unified partners that we have on the team. It is more than just playing a game or playing a sport. It is all about building those bonds, learning to overcome adversity. It's one where losing and defeat can be extremely hard, and being a part of a team and learning how to overcome those type of things as a team, having your teammates to lean on, is something that without sports and really without a unified sports program, a lot of our students wouldn't have the opportunity to experience.
Heidi, as a former special education teacher and now as the superintendent, the role of special education in taking those students beyond just their own classroom and into the larger building and activities, how important is that to kind of the district and your approach to special education?
I would say it's extremely important. I went to Central Michigan University to become a special education teacher.
Ooh, go Broncos.
Yes. And was very involved in Special Olympics. And, just having that opportunity to see students participate in Special Olympics and to have that connection, as you said, to have other opportunities outside of the school day with other peers. There's so much to be gained, in skills and social skills and just learning from everybody involved, that I'm very proud that we do have unified sports here in Lake Orion, and that both of you have helped to grow the program, and I'm hoping that it will continue, because it is something that I think, like I said, the benefit is just amazing for everybody that's involved.
Brayden, I assume you get questions from other classmates about you doing it and everything. What are those conversations like?
Yeah, so after I was the first, me and my buddy Nick were the first two from our grade to really start. And since last year, I've had tons of people trying to get on the team, and that's really how it's grown a ton this year. Is we have like 20 kids that want to do this, and I think it's great that everybody wants to be involved and wants to be a part of something so special.
Erik, even before you got here, Lake Orion has had a special education game, basketball game against another district. It was Oxford before, now it's against Bloomfield Hills.
Yep.
How important is that to show to the whole student body that these students are involved in the activities and the game and everything?
For our team, it's our championship game. It is the highlight of the season. Our crowd travels really well to all of our games. Anyone who's been to a game knows that we fill the seats pretty well. But when you are able to play in front of the entire Lake Orion Community High School, and you have the students out there, and you're not just cheering for the Dragons, you're out there, both teams are getting cheered for every make, for hustle, and it really provides an experience unlike anything else. And without that, I think it would be a little bit harder, I think, for a lot of the students in the building to know a lot of our athletes as well as they do now.
Talking to Ms. Hogan, who's one of the leadership advisors, she said that it's really something that is other districts are asking about. I don't know if you get asked that as well, about this game and kind of how we can get in this and replicate it either at their school or get into our game, and knock out the other districts. How much have you seen unified sports grow in Oakland County and beyond?
Here in Oakland County, it continues to grow more and more each year. Earlier this season, we played Oxford, and this is Oxford's first year having a unified sports team up at their high school. So as we continue to grow, it really provides even more opportunities for our students. We go ahead and we travel to all of our away games. We play typically between the JV varsity games, just like you would for any other varsity sport, and that's something that we really try and preach at our practices and at our games. Is this is a varsity sport. You guys are varsity athletes up here at the high school, so we have some responsibilities, we have some expectations that go with that. So for a lot of our students, it is really a carrot to help motivate them in a lot of areas, offside, even out of the court or more in the classroom.
There have been obviously showcase opportunities beyond that when you guys played at Little Caesars Arena a couple years ago and that type of thing. Heidi, this is kind of these experiences for the special education students is something that the district is committed to as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. Those types of experiences, like I said, for special education students is very, very important. and is a priority for the district. And like I said, it also is for everybody involved, for adults as well as our, our general education students too. There's something to be learned by everybody. And like you had, alluded to earlier, the camaraderie and just the spirit that goes along with the games is just something that is, you have to be there to witness it, to truly feel it. It's just an amazing thing.
Brayden, now's the time to embarrass Mr. M. He was named the Teacher of the Year at the, for the high school this year. Can you kind of talk about what makes him so unique and makes him, worthy of that honor?
No, I'd say he's amazing at getting people involved. He's always making sure that everybody at his practice is, on page. Even if like he's got a kid in the corner, he's making sure he can still run this practice and he can help that kid. And I think the way he can multitask like that is special, and that's what makes his program so important.
I mean, Heidi, you were there obviously when it was introduced. The support from his colleagues and everything like that really shows, what he means to the staff there, even though he's dealing with special education students and not all the general education students.
Mm-hmm. And I think that is really important that, it's not. That's one of the things that we have really tried in the district to make sure that we're not operating on two separate silos, special education and general education. We're all education. And I was so excited to see your name because you truly represent that you are a special education teacher, but yet you're also involved in many parts of the district, not just special education, and making sure that you provide opportunities not only for your special education students, but also for our general education students as well, again, to share in all of the experiences and camaraderie that can come about when we join forces.
Erik, can you take us through your education journey a little bit?
Yeah. So I actually graduated from Western Michigan University. And then right out of college, I got a job teaching in a self-contained MOSI classroom over in Eaton County.
Can you explain what that means?
So that would be a center-based middle school classroom is where I was. We were located off-site, however.
Okay.
So an example would be here, like a Pine Tree Center where you were located in building.
Right.
Let's go ahead and take a classroom out of there and put it into a local district building. So we were located over at I was located at first Charlotte Middle School and then eventually over at Potterville Middle School, and I taught there for 10 years.
Okay.
And then my wife got a promotion to move us over. She got a promotion in Auburn Hills and started the search of where did I want to take these next steps in my journey. I was born and graduated from Troy, Athens, so I do know the Oakland County area pretty well. But one of the things that stood out and that I really wanted to make sure I found is I wanted to find a high school that had a sense of community, a school district where I could walk through the community and be like, I work for Lake Orion Community Schools. And the community had a pride, and they would be backing that up. And went to job fair, and actually the very first table I went to and talked to was Lake Orion, and I got a call for an interview the very next day, and that was kind of, as they say, that was that. But it has really been the best choice that I could imagine. I have the amount of support that Lake Orion High School provides for our students and for our staff is truly exceptional. We're able to, as we go throughout our day and through the building, the amount of students that are coming up, interacting with our kids is tremendous. And as somebody who has kind of seen different sides of those silos, that for our students is incredible. I can do a lot of things in the classroom. I can do a lot of different strategies. We have a lot of different curriculums that we can use to try and help improve the academic and the behavioral side of things. But the one thing that I can't do is provide them those social supports that they get from peers. and the fact that Lake Orion High School is able to provide those through our unified sports programs, through our ESET program that we run. And
you want to talk about the ESET a little bit?
Yeah, Julie Barnes runs our ESET program up at the high school, and those are students that have expressed an interest in one day having a job or position in the field of special education. Those students typically go ahead and have a skinny, so about half of a full class with her, where they're learning different things about special education. Then the other half, they have a field placement with our students in our adapted electives.
Okay.
So they are going ahead and having half their time kind of learning more about special education. They have different people kind of come in and talk about the different jobs that are out there in special education. And then the other half the time, they are interacting and working with our students in those adapted electives.
Heidi, those classes are not seen in every district. What was the commitment to the ESETs and kind of establishing something like that?
Yeah, that is, I would say, another one of the priorities for Lake Orion. It is essential, I think, to provide students those opportunities. And we know within the teaching field, right, we need teachers. And I think, students at the high school level, that's an opportunity for them to kind of try out their interests. And that is certainly one of the areas that, I think we can start, students at the high school level piquing their interest in education. I had the opportunity in high school to do something similar. And, 10th grade, I knew that I wanted to be a special education teacher. So I do know that those types of opportunities really can impact students greatly. And so I think it's very, very important to have those types of opportunities.
Brayden, I don't know how much you're familiar. You're around Mr. Meerschaert during the games, but he's got a good reputation among the staff for being very competitive. He does some, they have staff outings, and he's very competitive in those. You see some of that in the games. He gets intense, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, if he needs to make a point, he'll make it.
And in the huddles and everything like that, he's making.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Can you kind of share a little bit about what that experience is like during a game with Mr. Meerschaert? Coach?
One thing that I really appreciate that he does is this year we have a lot of helpers, and he makes sure that every one of them gets into the game still. Even just like yesterday, normally our quarters are about 2 minutes a shift, and we had too many people to where we couldn't get everybody in that time. He made sure to split up those shifts as well to make sure that every single one of us could get in. And I think this little things like that make him so special, and that's why I believe he should have been Teacher of the Year.
Brayden, can you tell us a little bit about your high school journey, kind of the things that interest you, what you're involved in at school, even beyond this?
Yeah, so I'm big into soccer.
Okay.
I've been on the I made varsity soccer this year.
Okay.
I also am in the leadership program with Mrs. Hogan, and I like doing that. I enjoy that a lot. I've grown up in Lake Orion. I've always went to Lake Orion schools. Went to Weber, Orion Oaks, and Scripps.
Okay.
And I like to be involved with everything. I really enjoy, trying to make a difference and, to be someone that someone can maybe look up to. And I find that to be interesting to me.
Well, obviously, you're someone that, we love having leaders like you. You really set the standard for the people in the building, and that's important. Mr. M obviously identified you as someone who's important, so we really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Do you have any other thoughts, Heidi, Mr. M, about things related that we want to share about the programs? And
I would just like to thank both of you again, for both of your leadership. You are having a huge impact in our district and our community, and it is noticed and valued and appreciated. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having us on.
Great. Well, we'll be back next month with another Dragon Difference with Ms. Mercer, but thank you very much, Brayden and Mr. M, for being with us today. Thanks so much.